Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. Now, wasn't it lovely yesterday to hear from Nick?
It was really nice to hear from Nick.
He's just got a calming, nice, relaxing
Yeah, really
voice.
relaxing.
I think Nick would be my favourite person to read me a bedtime story.
You said your grandpa.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Grandpa or
there's
Nick
competition.
then. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're going to have to both read me a bedtime story and then I'll decide. Anyway.
So, today... Oh, yeah.
Chocolate
I forgot.
first. Now, I've got to do a bit of reading in a minute, so I'll go for a little one again, but maybe next time I'll
We're going to need to jump into those big ones.
Yeah,
we need some bigger stories.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a little... We're going to learn about a man called Nicodemus today.
What a great name.
And I'm going to read the first little bit of his story, and then Samuel's going to read the last little bit of his story, and then we'll talk about him and how he was transformed by Jesus. So the beginning goes a bit like this. Now, there was a Pharisee, a man named Nicodemus, and he was a member of the Jewish ruling council. He came to Jesus at night and said, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who has come from God, for no one could perform the signs you are doing if God were not with them." And then he asked Jesus loads of questions, basically, and they have a bit of a conversation. And then he goes off.
And now we jump to just after Jesus has died.
Yes.
And he's on the cross. And so this is right at the very end of John's Gospel. With him came Nicodemus, the man who had come to Jesus at night. He brought about 32 kilograms of perfumed ointment made from myrrh and aloes. That's a lot of perfume. Following Jewish burial custom, they wrapped Jesus' body with the spices in long sheets of linen cloth. The place of crucifixion was near a garden, where a new tomb had never been used. And so it was the day of preparation for the Jewish Passover, and since the tomb was close at hand, they laid Jesus there.
Okay, so we see this man, Nicodemus, who was quite worried, actually, about what people might think of him. Because he was a Pharisee, so he was one of those religious leaders who, they stuck to the law, didn't they? They tried to get everyone,
You probably heard about Jesus, you know, sort of giving out some really harsh critique of the Pharisees.
So basically Nicodemus went to see Jesus in the cover of nighttime because he didn't want other people to see what he was doing. And so once he had his chat with Jesus, he changed and he ended up being quite open about his faith. Because as we see at the end of John's Gospel, it's what Samuel read, is that suddenly he was coming with all of this perfume, and a Jewish burial in those times were probably quite a public thing. So he would have been out in the open.
Everyone would have seen Jesus on the cross.
Suddenly he turned from this man who spoke to Jesus under the cover of night because he was worried what other people might think, to not all of a sudden, a few years later, being in front of Jesus and being really open and honest about what he believed in. And he was no longer worried about what people thought. So yesterday we heard Nick tell us that all we are asked to do is share our own story, so that other people might come to know Jesus. And we can feel scared and we can feel worried about what other people might think of us, just like Nicodemus did. But all we need to do is talk to Jesus and ask him to help us, just like Nicodemus did. And it might not be an instant transformation like it was for the woman at the well yesterday. So she spoke to Jesus and suddenly she ran off and told everyone. Nicodemus, it took him a couple of years to come round and actually be confident and open. So it might take a while, but that's okay. And that's it.
Wonderful.
Our thankfulness jars.
Thankfulness jars.
I've lost my pen.
Thankfulness jars.
I've lost my pen.
I've got my pen.
I found my pen.
Oh, it's right in front of you.
I know. Silly.
What colour are you going to go for?
I'm going for a yellow one because it's on the top again. I might sort of dip down into the pink soon.
Ooh.
Do you want yellow?
I have a yellow as well, shall I?
I don't know. I'm going to go pink now. I'm going to be radical.
Be brave.
I'm not going to worry what other people might think. What am I thankful for today? Do you know what? I'm thankful that God is with me no matter what, and if I'm scared of something or worried what other people might think, that I know He's always with me, and I can always ask for His help. That's what I'm thankful for.
That's definitely a reason to be thankful, isn't it? Okay, here we go then.
Are we going to try this thing
See if
again?
I can do it.
Alright, see,
Ready?
you folded yours up in a different way.
I've got to give myself the best
Alright, go on.
chance.
My turn.
Hit the rim. Oh,
Disaster.
Never mind.
Let's put them in.
They're in.
We'll get there one day.
We're thankful.
Okay, activity, Samuel. What are we doing?
So Nicodemus took a long time to change, probably a couple of years, from first meeting Jesus to then being sort of in front of everyone and taking down his body off the cross. And so we're thinking about what takes a long time to sort of change. We thought of bread. If you've ever baked bread, you'll know that it takes a really long time to prove. You've got to put it in a bowl, like next to a radiator.
For like an hour, and then you've got to knead it, and then you've got to do it again.
You've got to put it in like a bun shape or whatever shape it's going in. So we would love you to try and make some bread.
Yeah.
And just think how long it takes to get from getting the ingredients together in the first place and actually eating the bread. It takes a really long time.
It does.
So hopefully that will remind you of the transformation that Nicodemus goes through as you transform
some flour and yeast
water into lovely, yummy bread. Have a lovely day.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.